Hello, welcome to a new episode of my cataract journey. In this case, it's episode number 4. It's my case number 15, approximately. My first case was around 2 months ago, so I'm gaining momentum. So I'm starting to stack cases. This was a pretty standard cataract. Here it was very good dilation. It was a pretty nice case. Here I start doing the capsulorhexis. In this case, this video is in another microscope, in another surgical room, so it's the definition of the video is much better, so you can see more clearly all of the details. In this case, the video is sped up times 2 speed. So the original case was around 18 minutes, I think, in total. And yeah, here I'm with my capsulorhexis. I feel a little bit more with OVD, because sometimes when I try to get the subincisional rhexis, I push a little the main incision, and the anterior chamber loses a little bit of pressure and of OVD, and there's bigger risk of the rhexis running out. And also there's you do it worse. That's why I stopped there and I refilled with a little bit of OVD. Here I'm having a little bit of difficulties getting the hold of that last part of the rhexis. Finally I do get it there, and I just finished the rhexis, which was pretty nice. So yeah, that's something to take into account when not pushing so much this when passing through the subincisional area whilst doing the rhexis. Here I started with the hydrodissection and hydrodelineation. The eye moves a little bit off the center, so you can't see it correctly, but there was a nice wave. And yeah, basically now I do hydrodelineation to you can see there the golden ring. And now I just rotate, and it rotates pretty nicely. So we go through to the divide and conquer, which I'm gonna keep doing until I'm well into more or less like 100 cases, or a little bit more even. My idea is to start trying to chop a little bit when I do more than 100 cases. So yes, here we start with the groove. I get the phaco tip inside and the manipulator inside, and yeah, here I'm doing it with a program which has all of the longitudinal force when doing the groove. And the main groove, it's pretty easy when doing it because it's pretty narrow and very long, and it's easy to break. But I'm finding more difficulties when breaking the quadrants, the second quadrant, because then the instruments, they don't go correctly in the same direction, and it's harder to get them inside. So sometimes I have to make it a little bit bigger or something. Here I finally break. I don't do it very neatly, but yeah, it does break. I have to work on pivoting in the incisions and not pushing too hard on the eye. And yes, here I do the next groove. In this case, I think it broke pretty well. I did a pretty deep groove, and I managed to get both of the instruments pretty deep inside, and it breaks really well. But normally I find some difficulties here. Here I was trying to, once to get the grab of the quadrant, try to move the other half away with the manipulator to make space and find it easier. Here I get the other quadrant pretty easy, always protecting with the manipulator. And now I rotate this half to try and get it all out, and then start more or less like chopping it with the manipulator. Here I get it from the lowest part, from the most inferior part of the nucleus, and then when I get it there, I just start to chop a little bit with my manipulator, whilst I protect myself in the lower part. And yeah, finally I get all of the parts out, and now I get the epinucleus out. I try to mobilize it a little bit to get it completely out of the bag into the iris plane. And yeah, it went pretty well. I always try to take the irrigation out and count to 3 seconds before taking the fake or the AI outside, just to protect myself from doing an iris prolapse. And yeah, here I start getting the cortex pretty easily. I start with the cortex in front of me because it's easier, although they've told me to try getting first the subincisional cortex, because sometimes, as it's harder normally to get it, it makes it easier afterwards, which is one of the problems I had here. I managed to take everything out, but the subincisional cortex, which we will see right now, I found it a little bit difficult, and I couldn't manage to take it correctly. Here the patient moved the eye because he was asleep, and when he woke up he moved the eye. And yeah, here I managed to get basically nearly everything, but there I can't manage to get it. The easiest thing to do is just get an irrigation aspiration, which is a transformer that you can separate into a two-piece AI, but in this case this was only one-piece AI, so I could have asked for a bimanual one. But well, the other option, which is what I did here, that my consultant told me, is just to put in viscoelastic through the paracentesis and get that subincisional cortex up, and then once you implant the lens, you can just take it out with the AI. Here I get the viscoelastic, and I put it under that subincisional cortex to get it up, and then filling the bag. Here, when I put the lens, I had one problem, that I didn't push enough. Maybe there was not enough viscoelastic, and I didn't put it, maintain the pressure, and I went a little bit out, and the lens got stuck there. But yeah, at the end I pushed through, and it went inside, but it was a pretty not very neat delivery of the lens. But well, at the end, the patient, the incisions were well constructed, and he didn't have any leakage in the post-day, in the day one post-op or anything. And yeah, here I get the lens into the bag, and I already start aspirating all the viscoelastic and all the cortex rests that were in the subincisional area. I think the lens, when it went through, it took a little bit of those cortex pieces, remnants, and they stepped behind the lens, but just mobilizing the lens from one side to the other. At the end, I managed to get it out. Here, the first thing is getting that subincisional cortex out, so when there's still a lot of viscoelastic in. And yeah, basically I get the rest of the things out, the rest of the viscoelastic and the rest of the cortex. And yeah, basically once it's finished, I now hydrate the incisions, and that's the case done, basically. So yeah, I put a little bit of BSS because there was this cortex part behind the lens that I couldn't manage to get out with the AI probe. So just rinse in with a little bit of BSS, and they went out from behind. And now I just aspirate them out, and that's it. And now basically I hydrate the incisions, and that's the case done. Thank you for watching. It went pretty well. The patient in the post-op was doing really well, was really happy, and also I was really happy. So that's it. I'll keep posting. I'm doing quite a lot of cases right now, although I can't film every single case, but yeah, I'm grinding my way through the cataract journey, and yeah, I will hope to upload more videos recently.